All began in a laslappy bag in my mom's house. I was the youngest of 4 girls, and I think my mom had to keep me busy, so she got me to sort colours into colours that worked together for quilts. I then went into fashion eventually, which was my first love. And when I had small children, the 14-hour days didn't suit my lifestyle anymore, and I shifted gear and started developing a small homeware assortment. The plan was never to be in homeware. It just kind of happened that way. I started researching crests, original signatures of the first Huguenots and settlers that had travelled through South Africa or that arrived in South Africa in the 1600s, and this inspired the first range. We did an assortment of first day at school, my family's first day at school, 4 generations, on a pattern. I took my grade 1 class picture and we jacquarded that onto fabric, which was quite amazing to get the detail onto the actual fabrics. But just before we launched, the weaver contacted me to say that the cotton yarns he received from abroad was not good enough. They were breaking on his weaving machine. So we had 4 weeks before we launched this assortment to add components or homeware to it. So this is really where it started. So we did some appliques. I called in all favours from our old fashion suppliers who knitted our beautiful throws and ottomans and cushion covers. And this led us to our next assortment, the magic felt. The magic felt is inspired by some of the first explorers that travelled through South Africa from the 1600s to 1800s. Again, something about the 1800s that kind of is magical. We discovered incredible drawings by Hendrik Claudius, John Campbell, Robert Gordon, Francois Le Valiant, George French Angus, and Thomas Baines. They fell in love with this country, and there's a beautiful quote by Birchall, which I'll read to you shortly. But what we found fascinating was that the pigments of the use of paints from the 1600s to the 1700s to the 1800s were in the same spectrum and beautifully complemented one another. We also started doing embroideries and very large wall panels, which we started. The first wall panels we did in around about 2001, and this was just an extension of that. A quote by William Birchall that I mentioned was, it said, "To view the admirable perfection of nature in a new light and not less beautiful in the wilds of Africa was the irresistible motive which led me on." And it really resonated with me because I thought it's amazing to see our country dating back to the 1800s through other people's eyes.